money you're making outside of your job, if you don't report it, they're coming after you. Check this out, guys. You need to make sure you have your affairs in order. There, we got these accounts. We got these accounts. I'm gonna touch on savings in a second, but let's look at this. If I make $1 million in a month, guys, I don't get to keep $1 million. I have to at least put aside 37%. Sometimes, guys, I almost do 50 just because you just never know, or you rather be safe than sorry. That's one reason I don't run into some of the issues some of the more prominent people, your celebrities and stars run into. I don't know if they even know how to pay their taxes the right way, consistently, on time, or have an account set aside for this, okay? So if you bring in $1 million a month, you don't get to keep the whole $1 million, okay? Whether I'm trading and getting busy like I do every single month, or through business. Either way, you need to have your affairs in order. Now look at this. You can't save your way to wealth. That's why this is the lowest amount. You should be investing, okay? You have to invest your way to wealth, okay? These accounts don't give you anything for saving money. That's why you must invest your way to wealth, okay? And so notice these things. You need to have reporting on point no matter what it's for. If you are putting money aside from a business you own, if you have a side hustle, if you have anything you're doing, guys, this is important that you have your things laid out the proper way. So you need to have a tax account for what I'm going to teach and show you guys today, because they're cracking down and a lot of people get caught in the wash because when the big bill comes, they wasn't putting money aside so they can pay the bill and then not knock you off your square. You don't get blindsided and uprooted up out the game, okay? So these are the ways that those of us that are truly wealthy but have our businesses buttoned up in such a way we're impenetrable. The government, the litigation, nothing ain't coming against you when you have your systems fully and truly in place, okay? This is high level wealth talk, and I want to show you guys these things because you need to see how it's structured. You need to make sure you have 11, 12, 13, 14 accounts or different bank accounts for all these various things that may come, because the IRS will come after you. What counts as side hustle income? Any money you earn outside a job, outside of your normal W-2. Okay, so that can be if you ride Uber, if you ride Lyft, if you do DoorDash, if you do Instacart. These counts as side hustles. These are the things that if you don't report, the IRS is coming for you. They're coming after you. Other things that may count as a side hustle outside of your normal W-2 job, your eBay store, your Etsy account, the marketplace on Facebook, if you're selling stuff. You can't just think you just getting away with doing these things and not having to report it. Affiliate marketing on Amazon, your Amazon store. All of these things as well count as side income. Any design you're doing, if you're a graphic designer, any copywriting you're doing, any editing, coding, marketing, consulting, all of these things constitutes as side hustle income, meaning you need to report it. YouTube, y'all know coaches on YouTube. One of the ones that has really took it to a whole new level consistently, now over $10 million on YouTube. I gotta report that. Those of you are getting busy on TikTok, your TikTok shop, your TikTok store, any website that pays you, anywhere you're making money, you need to report that, because you're gonna put yourself under greater scrutiny if you don't. But why now is the IRS cracking down? So there's a few different reasons why they're all of a sudden turning up the heat just a tad bit on all of this money that the people are making in this creator economy, okay? The IRS compares what you report on your tax return and what third parties report about you to the IRS. And so you can't think that you, for example, okay, I have a team. I have 20 people that work for me, at least, okay? At the end of the year, I'm sending them at least a 1099. They can't try to get over on the IRS and act like just because they're not a W-2 employee that they aren't getting paid and they don't have to report it. Let me know if that makes sense, okay? And so this is how you get tripped up. If me, the employer, is reporting to the IRS saying, I paid Pookie and Ray Ray, okay? Well, Pookie and Ray Ray didn't send in their stuff. Pookie and Ray Ray then could come under more scrutiny and more under attack from the IRS, okay? When those numbers don't match up, the AI, they will flag it. They will see, oh, something is off. She getting a lot of money over there. She sold a lot of courses. She's doing a lot of events and webinars, and we ain't seen nothing come through. These are the things that get you tripped up along the journey, okay? Mistake number one, we hear this all the time. It's too small to matter, okay? Just because it's a small amount, or you are letting somebody call your business a little business, and you think, okay, I know people that make $100K a year, 6-7 figures a year. I'm only making $2,000. Well, guess what? If you receive $2,200 and you report $0, guess what? They'll come after you. Okay, this is where you still got to be on top of your game. And I often tell people this: live like a millionaire long before becoming one. You want to get in the habit of doing things the right way, even when you're on the come up, because when you get to the top, you'll already be so accustomed to doing things the right way. You won't be taking shortcuts. You won't be trying to sidestep people. You won't be trying to scam people. You won't be trying to skim and scam where you can. You would be doing things the right way, by the book, keeping your business buttoned up and your affairs in order. Mistake number two, waiting on a 1099. A lot of people try to say, oh, I didn't report money because I ain't getting a 1099. We hear this a lot, especially as business owners and people that run real businesses and have teams and have staff and have a bunch of people working for us, okay? Sometimes I remember even on my come up, there will be some things I did, like, so you might do a sponsorship for BMW, and then BMW take forever to send out that they paid you. And so the tax time come and go, you try to not throw that on the tax report, like they didn't just give you $20,000 for your 60-second commercial. Next thing you know, that's coming back to bite you, and you're trying to say, oh, well, they didn't send me a 1099. I didn't think I had to report it. Yes, you do. Mistake number three is thinking that cash and cash apps are invisible. A lot of people think, oh, pay me in cash, it's under the table. Or if I send somebody a Cash App or a Zelle or a Venmo, that those things don't count. Any move you make is a transaction, and transactions are tracked, and they want it to be reported, okay? Don't let these mistakes trip you up along the way, okay? Mistake number four is mixing your personal money with your business money. You might think, oh, I got my money commingling and I bought McDonald's with this, or I bought my daughter some clothes for school with this. And then, oh, I got some money, but it was from my friend. She cashed at me for my nails. Guys, all of these transactions are getting the radar of the IRS to trigger. And now that they got a hold of AI, they can surf up to 500 hours worth of your information in 30 minutes. So it don't even take a long time for them to flag you, see that you moving bold and not moving the right way, and then flag your account, okay? Here's a simple checklist that you need to do, okay? Track your side hustle income. Quit thinking it's too small, my little business, it wasn't that much. Stop thinking like that. Keep separate accounts, okay? If you have a business, get an LLC. Put your LLC money in a business account and keep your separate account separate, point blank period, okay? Keep basic records, okay? You should know what's a business expense versus what's a personal expense. Okay, just basic record keeping, an Excel spreadsheet at the bare minimum can help you separate the two. Don't rely on your tax forms. Again, thinking that you need a 1099 only to report the money, you're being misleading. If you're not just being upfront off the rip, regardless if the 1099 come or not, you are putting yourself in danger of being audited and targeted by the IRS. Don't guess expenses, document them. Too often times we see people trying to think they know what the expenses were versus just keeping a clean running list, clean documentation of what your expenses were. This helps you also know your P&L, your profits and loss, how much cash flow you got going in, how much cash burn you have, okay? And then set aside money for taxes as you go. That's what Coach just try to show you guys. Listen, man, as you go, you need to make sure that you have these things on point.
Transactions, marketplaces track sales, payment processors, they create records, and banks, of course, track deposits. So the IRS identifies who to go after using the matching strategy. And listen, you need to understand how they're doing this to avoid becoming a target for the IRS. So here's what happens, essentially. The IRS compares what you report on your tax return and what third parties report to the IRS about you. And when those numbers don't match up, then a computer is going to flag it. Essentially, it's an automated system that notices a mismatch between what you report and what others report about you. Now, I want you to know that this is the number one trap. This is the biggest mistake. And it's people think that the side hustle income that I received, it's too small to matter. So a lot of people are gonna say, like, I didn't make that much money for my side hustle, so, they're not gonna care. So I just wanna clarify this for you. In your previous experience, let's just say, like, you made some money and you did not report it to the IRS and nothing happens. It's not because the amount you made was small, no. You didn't get an IRS letter because the IRS didn't see it and they didn't know about it. But if they see your income, the size is not going to protect you. So I want to give you a quick example. So let's just say that you made $2,200 from a side hustle and the payer sends you a 1099, okay? And your tax return shows 0, like you didn't report it. Then the mismatch is going to be clean and obvious. And that's the kind of thing that's going to trigger an IRS letter. So in this scenario, even if you made $2,200 and your expenses were greater than that, meaning that you had 0 profits and 0 taxable income, all the IRS is going to see is that you received $2,200 and they're not going to see your expenses. And then they're going to try to get you to pay taxes on that gross amount that you made, that $2,200 that you made, when in reality you shouldn't. So I'm telling you, it's best to report it properly, record the proper amount of expenses as well, rather than getting an IRS letter and then having them put you through an unnecessary and overblown, I'd say, witch hunt. Now, I want to tell you about this mistake number 2 that I see gets a lot of people in trouble. It's when they wait around for a 1099 tax form and then it never appears and they think that they don't have to report it, but it doesn't work like that. So here's a rule that's going to save you for you to understand and know. You must report your income whether or not you receive a tax form, okay? So if you don't get a tax form, that doesn't just magically erase the income. So a silly mistake that I've seen my clients make is that the 1099 tax form was sent to them, but it truly got lost in the mail, or they didn't realize that they had to download it, their 1099. And they thought that because they didn't receive a copy, that income was never reported to the IRS. And their excuse, there's so many excuses, but they try to use this excuse that, I never received the copy. I never received the copy of 1099. If you say it to the IRS is not going to care. If there was a mailing problem or a communication problem, the IRS is going to say that you should have known about it. It's your responsibility to report it correctly. So I'm just telling you, that defense